Hey, the following video is a little bit older. I originally posted this in 2019 and it was never really released because Netflix at the time had completely blocked the video and I didn't know how to get around that back then. And so out of a bit of frustration, I deleted everything I had on the video. But out of sheer luck, I was able to completely recover the video and am now going to post a version of it where most of it is blacked out in order to not infringe on copyright. I still think it is a good and interesting video, and I hope you have fun with it. Netflix animated anthology Love, Death and Robots impressed viewers with their creative and often aggressive approach to discussing the three topics at hand. Each episode varies vastly in style and themes, but my favorite by far has to be Good Hunting, originally written by Ken Liu. From the impressive animation, whose art style reminds me of the great classics from my childhood like Avatar and the Ghibli movies, to the important issues it presents, treating them with respect and shocking harshness at times. The world the short builds is unique and it fits its narrative perfectly, making me wish for it to be a movie, and yet, the fact that we only get such a brief summarization of the main character's life makes it ever snappier and more impactful. Now, this video will be a discussion of the different messages and parallels that can be found inside, so I advise you to watch it before you watch this video. That being said, spoilers incoming. We open up on Liang as a boy hunting with his father, who is a spirit hunter, protecting their community from dangerous monsters like the Hulijing, a creature that seduces men and feasts on them for their magic. This idea, however, is immediately challenged when Liang meets Yan, who tells him of how the spirits fear men and their lies. Yan's mother is killed shortly after, completing the hunt. Years pass, and Liang's father eventually dies as well, while Liang has rejected tradition and has now befriended Yan. She explains that with the times modernizing and technology evolving, she is losing her spirit powers and is forced to stay in her human form more and more, fearing she will have to give up hunting in the wild. Although concerned for her, he tells her that he is going to move to the city, mentioning too how his father would not have understood this decision. Years pass once more, and we see Liang now working for the English colonial lords as they overtook the city, acting as the upper class and bossing the Chinese around. We once more meet Yan as she is now a prostitute, her looks being her only talent left as she is now trapped in her human form. She and Liang spend the evenings together, talking about their life and reminiscing of the past. The episode again skips forward as Liang describes the rapid changes in technology, which now seem more and more advanced, being described as almost magical by him, as he discovers that he has a hidden talent for constructing robots, which is now his new job, making him independent. One night he is again visited by Yan, who asks him for help. To the horror of both, Yan had been turned into a machine by one of her clients, who had a fetish for robots. Her last bid for Liang is for him to turn her new robotic body into a weapon for her to get revenge on the men who are wronging and suppressing the poor in the city. One last montage ensues. Liang modifies Yan, allowing her to turn into a robotic fox, just like the Hulijing could at the beginning of the tale. The short ends with Yan now hunting in the night, saving a prostitute that is being harassed by a group of men. This story is fascinating because, even though its world is shown to be bleak and dangerous, it ends on a hopeful note. The title itself can be interpreted in multiple ways. In the episode, we see Liang wishing Yan a good hunt on multiple occasions, which is finally possible for her at the end, but it could also be seen as a moral statement, since the hunting that is done by Liang's father at the beginning is immoral. killing off innocent creatures, while the hunt started by Yan at the end tries to do the opposite, bringing good again. Although she explicitly states that she wants revenge, I can't but think that the ending is somewhat karmic, rebalancing the world and restoring natural order, bringing her back to her roots and therefore freeing her, as well as ending the cycle of oppression of the weak, which no gender or race was excluded from in this world. This also parallels how Liang gains his freedom. He was forced by his father to learn the ways of a spirit hunter, but even after his death, he isn't free to do what he wants, as his new bosses limit him all the same. It's only after he discovers his true passion and talent for robotics that he gains his freedom, just like Yan gains her freedom by being able to hunt again, no longer forced to work by just using her looks. Their journeys reflect each other. Another very essential theme is the loss of magic in the world and the destruction of nature. Since Yan is being fueled by magic, the modernization of the world costs her her powers and slowly drains her. But while other stories might just conclude with pure criticism towards industrialism and its dangers, Good Hunting takes a different approach. As Liang mentions, the machines he helped create are so incredible in what they can do that they very much resemble magic. I once read that as long as something exists in our world, it automatically is natural. Humanity's distinction between what is and what isn't natural is just arbitrary. This short exemplifies that perfectly. The world in Good Hunting changes at a breakneck pace, not unlike our own. But only when the two main characters accept it do they earn their happiness. In fact, this short shows us that we can't let ourselves be distracted by the world around us. If we want change to happen, it's up to us to bring it. It doesn't matter where or even when. Injustice and dissatisfaction will exist, and it won't change unless we make it. It's funny how the short tells us how the world has gone to shit and then, basically in the same breath, asks us, so what are you going to do about it? Because in our times of absolute nihilism, maybe there's still some good to be done, some talents to be found, and some hope to be felt. So if you watched until the absolute end of this video, thank you very much for that. I'm currently trying something a little bit different, something a little bit new. I'm filming in my new place.